Are you interested in giving back to your community? Well, the City of Suffolk has a number of volunteer opportunities that are out there that you may be interested in. Joined now by Jason Pittman, Recreation Supervisor with Suffolk Parks and Recreation, to talk about volunteer opportunities with the City of Suffolk. Jason, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Tim. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Well, when we talk about volunteer opportunities, what's out there? What can people do to kind of help the city, and also certainly there's some benefits for the individuals as well?
Definitely. We have several opportunities throughout the city to volunteer. I think in terms of benefits for the city and for the community, it's an opportunity for the community to get engaged.
Right.
For us, the volunteers really help enhance everything that we're able to do with our employees only. So it helps take our service just a little bit further than what we could do normally with just our employees alone. So it makes a really good benefit.
Gotcha.
An example of that would be for our volunteer coaches, for example, within Suffolk Parks and Recreation. We offer youth leagues throughout the season, and this is an opportunity for citizens to get involved, to get engaged, and to really help us out with coaching, because without them, those leagues probably wouldn't be possible. So we appreciate them stepping up.
Got it. Now you mentioned, we'll just take that one as a specific example, the coaching. Somebody might, have a general knowledge about a sport, maybe they never coached it before. Do y'all have people that kind of help them when they do that, to kind of give them some of the, some tips or some basic information, right? Here's how you might want to run a practice for maybe those who haven't done that before, or perhaps maybe would you pair someone that's new to that with someone that's a little more experienced so that they could kind of learn from them to maybe eventually branch out to be their own coach at some point?
Certainly, and that's a great question. That's one of the bigger barriers that we see to volunteer coaching would be the hesitancy regarding how to run practices and things of this nature. So what we do is we work with our coaches through the National Alliance for Youth Sports, and we are able to provide some training based there, as well as holding several coaches meetings and describing different types of strategies and opportunities for our coaches to really make a good impact.
Got it. Now you mentioned, certainly you're with Parks and Rec, and you
Certainly.
mentioned a Parks and Rec example right there, which of course is very near and dear to your heart in that respect. But we're not just talking about Parks and Rec as far as where people can volunteer with the city. There's other opportunities within the various departments and events and things that the city puts on that people can kind of help out.
That's correct. We actually have an opportunity coming up with the Great American Cleanup that's hosted by our Litter Control Department, where we are asking residents, local businesses, and community groups to really organize their own cleanups that day. We will partner with them, be able to provide materials, equipment, supplies, things of that nature, and help provide some direction and guidance in areas that may need some attention.
Yeah.
That event is on March the 25th and 26th, coming up this year, and they can get additional information by contacting our litter control coordinator.
Got it. Very good. So again, that's a great example of a big event that's going to be taking place across the city, and that doesn't happen and doesn't work unless people are actually out there working, picking up the trash. It doesn't pick up itself. So it's not, it's a little different than, maybe it's a one-day commitment in that respect versus maybe the coaching where it might be a little more of a prolonged period of time, but between the practices and the games and everything like that. But again, there's ways for people to figure out what works best for them.
Certainly.
With subject matter, with applying their own individual talents, and also the time commitment that's involved with that to make sure it's something that works out. And I don't know if you would agree with this, but I'll ask volunteers. I think is it one of those things where it's kind of contagious in the sense of they do it once and they love it so much that you have repeat customers, so to speak, in that respect?
It definitely is, and that actually speaks to one of the benefits of volunteering as well. It gives our citizens an opportunity to maybe test a career field, for example.
Right.
So we do have occasions where a volunteer may come in and they kind of want to test something out because it piques their interest. And then they find out that one aspect of that particular volunteer opportunity may lead them into a direction where they can volunteer with something more specifically, or maybe they can change a direction, or maybe they find out they like it and they come back and return to us, which we always enjoy that.
Indeed, indeed. So if someone's out there watching this program, watching our discussion here today, and they'd like to get involved, what's the first step they need to take? What should they do?
What they can do is go to the City of Suffolk website, and beside the employment tab, there is a volunteer tab as well. So those are two separate tabs. If they click the volunteer tab, there will be a list of different volunteer opportunities that are currently listed. However, if they're interested in an opportunity that they don't see posted, we do encourage them to reach out to us and contact us, and to let us know what they may be interested in. We will work with volunteers on an individual basis to try to find a volunteer position that may suit their needs. That actually speaks to one of the areas that we focus on with regards to our internships. So we do host non-paid internships as well. For an example, with Parks and Recreation specifically, we will tailor a customized internship experience to that particular student's interest,
Got it.
based not only on their interest levels, but on their curriculum and a variety of aspects within the Parks and Recreation department, in order to try to give them a very well-rounded experience, but also touch on those skills that may help them when they're entering the job market down the road.
Now, you mentioned internship. Is that just for current, maybe, younger students, or for college students? Because there might be somebody, again, you mentioned earlier, maybe wanting to switch careers and want to kind of get some experience and kind of see what such and such is like. Is there a way to kind of do that, or do you have to be a student to qualify for the internship program versus, say, a volunteer situation?
It's a great question.
Okay.
Our internships are currently designed for those that are receiving course credit. However, we are very open, again, to individualizing and customizing an internship experience based on the needs of the applicant.
Okay.
So we're very open. If somebody would like to come and to do an internship process with the city, we'll sit down, we'll talk about the number of hours they're looking to get, what their goals are, what interest areas they have, and what type of situation and customizable experience we can offer them.
Got it.
Another example of that would be our CIT program, which is a counselor in training program. And that particular program is similar to an internship program. However, this is designed for youth that are ages 14 to 17.
Got it.
So that particular program our goal there is to help provide them with skills that would be transferable skills that they can gain with Parks and Recreation, but then they can take out into the job market when they do enter and they're looking for that first employment opportunity. Part of that we will provide training on. We'll provide orientations, and something that we're looking at doing a little bit different this year is at the conclusion of that particular program is doing some interview training as well, so that again we can help emphasize some of the aspects and some of the things that they were able to gain from those experiences, and how they're able to apply that to any type of future position that they may obtain in the future.
Now, with the CIT program in particular, is that just related to the summer camps, or is that something that could go on year-round? Because I know we see it a lot with the summer camps.
Certainly. That is something that can go on year-round.
Okay.
We really push hard during the summertime. That's pretty much our busiest time of year, where we have the most need. But we're definitely open during the year as well with our before and after school programs if youth are interested in that particular type of placement.
Got it. And with the CIT, I'm sure you've had some successful folks come out of that particular program, and then they can go into the paid positions that are offered for Parks and Rec to be counselors and things to help run some of the camps that go on, correct?
Certainly.
Yeah.
So we have actually had that very experience where we've had CITs that have come through our program on a volunteer basis. They have then applied for our jobs in the future. And of course, since they have that volunteer experience, they're able to network and gain those relationships within the department, but also to gain that knowledge and that experience. And they have been able to go on and to get positions with us in the future.
Well, now you mentioned the first step is go to the website, take a look at that volunteer opportunity tab that's there. So once they do, are they filling out an application? What's the thing that they're looking for there, or is it linked to them to fill out something online at that point?
So there are different positions that are listed on that particular volunteer page. When they click on that volunteer position, there will be directions on how to apply for that specific position. There's also general inquiries, and if they have general inquiries, then they can reach out to me and contact me directly, either via email or phone. And we can get them some additional information as well, but specific contact information is available for specific positions.
Got it. So as part of the review process, when you have someone that applies for one of these positions, I'm sure that the department or area that the position would be working with or whatever, they'll be doing the review of that, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then as part of that, I know we talked a little before we started taping, in some instances there are background checks that are done. If you could talk about maybe when those kind of come into play in a general sense?
Certainly. So when we have volunteers that are volunteering with us on an ongoing basis, if they're dealing with confidential information or working with a vulnerable population like our youth or our active adult programs, then that may be a situation where we're going to run background checks. That's pretty standard. We do get our results pretty quickly, and then we're able to provide guidance based on their applications.
I understand. Gotcha. So if someone's watching and they think, well, I'd like to volunteer, I'm not quite sure where I fit. I know you mentioned if someone kind of falls in that category, they can contact you, and we'll have your contact information on the screen. But if someone's thinking, well, I know what I want to do, that sounds great, what's the thing that you would say to them for going and take that next step to go and at least get the application process going to find out more about it? What would you suggest that they need to kind of consider and do at that point?
Certainly. I would just ask them to definitely reach out to us, to contact us via email. They can reach out to us through our Facebook page, any way that they would like to reach out to us. I do encourage them to go ahead and email me. and to submit an application. On there, list any other interest areas. So if they could kind of write down areas that they may be interested in or what they're looking to gain out of that particular volunteer placement. We want to make sure that we're meeting their goals as well, not just what we're able to do, because again, their volunteer opportunities do enhance what we're able to do with just employees alone.
Yeah. Definitely, I think it's definitely a two-way street here, because again, both the organization and by default, certainly the taxpayers, because it's labor they don't have to pay for to kind of help out and learn and grow with there. But also the individual can gain in a lot of different ways. I think you mentioned a lot of the ways that can happen. But whether it's getting experience, just really giving back to the community, participating in something you'd like to do. I mean, there's a lot of pluses right there for an individual that's considering and has gone through with the volunteer process. And I would say this is really a year-round recruitment process to do this. It's not just, summer's coming, I'll wait till March to do that. No, you can go ahead and get on board now, at least get the application in, get some of the legwork done in that respect, talk with staff to find out, okay, we have these opportunities that will be open or are open now, as you said, that are available on the website that people can check out. So again, it's never too late or too early to start this process, correct?
That is correct.
Yep. Okay, and Jason, as we close out here again, let's remind everybody, if someone's interested, what they should do step-wise, and also maybe close with a sales pitch on your part to get someone to go and take that step.
Certainly. So what we would like them to do is go ahead and visit our webpage and visit the volunteer tab. That'll pull up that list of volunteer opportunities that are available for them to review. They can find something that matches their interest areas, or it'll give them directions on how to reach out to us if they don't see what they're interested in, and we can discuss possible opportunities from there.
Okay.
It's really a great benefit to the city,
Yep.
And of course to the volunteers as well. They're able to get valuable experience to come in to build their network, especially for our youth, for our young adults as well that are entering the job market. They can test out a career field.
Yes.
On our side, we're able to get great additions and enhancements to our facilities. An example would be we've had an Eagle Scout. We've worked with groups like our Eagle Scouts and Boy Scouts that have helped create an ADA accessible picnic area within our lakes. That's something that we would like to have gotten to sooner, but was made possible by the help of a volunteer.
Of course.
So that's really what we're looking for, is just that additional help and that community engagement, and we're happy to be there for them.
Very good. Well, Jason, I appreciate what you're doing as far as to stir volunteerism within the city of Suffolk and get people involved in their city government, and also helping out citizens in a variety of different ways. And again, as we mentioned, Jason's really your point of contact with that, but also check out the website for those opportunities that are already out there right now to kind of get a jump start and kind of on the process right there. So Jason, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Tim. It was a pleasure.
Appreciate it. That will do it for this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. We will see you next time.